Master demons in death and dominate your opponents with the dark arts as a Warlock in Hearthstone. I'm Aski and you're here to find out all there is to know about Gul'dan, Hearthstone's destroyer of dreams. Warlocks specialise in self-abuse and burn their own HP and other cards in an attempt to play powerful minions earlier than normal, as well as drawing extra cards for the use of their hero power. Life tap deals 2 damage to your hero but draws you a card. Often this is unfavourable to newer players, however this allows the Warlock to gain a massive card and board advantage very quickly, giving them a massive edge as the game goes on. First, let's look at their minions. Warlocks can be very powerful in the early game, in which they have a number of very low cost but very powerful minions. The Flame Imp, Blood Imp and Void Walker all only cost 1 mana, very cheap for cards of their power, and then the Succubus and Doomguard are both very cheap but have a rather nasty battle cry unless you happen to have an empty hand. The Pit Lord is a larger version of the Flame Imp but tends to be favoured a little bit less, and the Fell Guard is very strong but can put you behind on mana. Their other minions have some very interesting mechanics such as the Dread Inferno, Summoning Portal, Void Caller and Void Terror. As for spells, they have some of the most powerful in the game, but again they're often very self-sacrificing. Soulfire is really strong for just 0 mana, but costs you a card, but just like the Succubus, if you have an empty hand except for the Soulfire, you're going to do very well out of it. Shadow Flame sacrifices a minion but deals its damage to all those on the other side. Hellfire is a powerful AoE but it hits everything on the board, and Power Overwhelming boosts your minion up a lot but it causes it to die at the end of the turn. They have some direct damage in the forms of Drain Life, Mortal Coil, Shadow Bolt, Demon Fire and Bane of Doom, as well as removal from Corruption, Sacrificial Pact, Siphon Soul and Twisting Nether. Lastly, they get a little bit of card draw from Sense Demons. Now for their legendary, they have Lord Jaraxxus, which is a very interesting card. He replaces the hero and has 15 health and 3 damage. This means the Warlock can use Jaraxxus to recover his health if he is below 15, he gets a weapon which he can attack with, and on top of this he gets a new hero power which allows him to summon a 6/6 Inferno for just 2 mana. However, because Jaraxxus costs 9 mana, you can't play him and summon an Inferno on the same turn. As far as it goes for countering a Warlock, a few things are important. Warlock decks tend to fall into 2 styles, either playing out lots of minions early on and rushing you down before going for a finisher using powerful neutral charge minions, or they buy their time, drawing cards each turn, planning on playing cards like the Mountain and Molten Giant very early on in the game and giving them taunt. If they're playing an aggressive deck, AoE will be key. Try to trade out your minions to mitigate damage until you can clear their board. Taunts will also be helpful at keeping them at bay. After a certain point, if you're still alive, you'll be able to take control of the game and there'll be no coming back for them. You can tell if their deck is like this if they play aggressive on turns 1 and 2. If they don't play any minions on turns 1 and 2, it's likely they're building up a strong hand for a giant very soon, so in this case play aggressive and hold on to any direct removal. If you can hit them hard on top of their soul taps, you can hurt them really bad. Then if they get their giant out only to have it removed, you'll win in no time. Silence can also be really good here to deal with Twilight Drakes. So Warlocks hurt themselves in an attempt to hurt you even more. They have some powerful cards, but if you can break their tempo or counter their plans, you'll have no problem achieving victory. If you want to find out more about Warlock cards or anything else Hearthstone, I recommend you go check out hearthstone.gamepedia.com, it's linked in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment if you have any tips for a new Warlock player. But for now, I've been Aski, and thank you for watching.